Hey my loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So on today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys how to cut and sew this pretty one shoulder with a gathered side ruched cutout, which is called a Delfina dress. But before we go ahead to this tutorial, kindly like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I upload new videos. So let's get started. Moving ahead guys, so for this tutorial we'll be using your basic body pattern paper. The only thing you have to do is to add paper to your pattern to make it length 60, because we are making a pattern for a gown, so it has to be length 16. And note that for this dress I used 3 yards of fabric. If you're bigger, then you might have to use more than 3 yards. So that is me just showing you the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line I went downwards by 1 inch, and from the 1 inch I went downwards by 8 inch. So I extended the lines and connected the line as well. So what you're seeing me doing right now, at this point, is the chest line. I forgot to do that, so I'll leave you to enjoy the voiceover from the video. See you.
And the hip line, then straight to the gown length, which is 60. I hope you can see this, right? So the bust line, the hip line. So now I'll go ahead to slot in my measurements. My bust measurement divided by 4, my waist measurement divided by 4, and the hip measurement divided by 4. My bust is 40 divided by 4 is 10. My waist is 31 divided by 4 is whatever your waist is divided by 4, you slot it in. Then my hip is 42. Whatever your hip measurement is, you divide it by 4 and slot in your measurement. This is 10.5 for my hip measurement. Then we go ahead to add 1 inch sewing allowance on each of the bust line, 1 inch, right? So now I'll connect. We'll take our 3 by 3. This is just like a guide. Connect the lines and connect the shoulder. So now I'll connect the ankle. So this is what we have now. So this line out, take this 11.5 down plus the sewing allowance. I'll take it down to the length of the dress. So the beginning is just, you need the basic. But I won't be cutting this neck. I'll just cut it off from the shoulder slant to the length. Now I'll go ahead to cut our pattern out. So now we go ahead to put the shoulder. Sorry, we'll have to go ahead and put the hole is on the side of the gown, if you notice. So guys, I have gone ahead. I don't know what happened to my camera. I lost the part where I was doing this, but I will have to explain. I have to explain this all over again. Don't forget that we took 1 inch sewing allowance. Then from this 1 inch, from the main measurement, I went in by 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. and this part 1, which is the line that I drew down. I connected the lines down. So now I'm going to connect it to this point, to this circle that we have here. Yeah, so this is what we have, right? So, and please note this part is on fold. So I'll go ahead to open it up so we can. This is how it looks like when we open it up. I'll mark the midpoint here. This is the midpoint of the pattern, right? Now I'll go ahead to slant and see what I actually want for the slant shoulder, right? The point where we have the slant, we have to come up here and slant it. If you look at the picture, you see that this point is fuller and longer, right? So from this point I'll come up, depending on how you want it. So at this point I'll come up by 14. I used my under knee like my knee length, and I added like I think 8 or 10 inches. Then I'll come up by 14 inches and I'll slant it down to this point, because this point, where there is gathers, that's the rushed part, has fullness, right? It's longer and it's full. So I'll slant this line. So now from the shoulder, I don't like when I wear a dress and my armpit is start revealing. So now we're going to slant. This is going to be the one shoulder part, right? So now I'll connect it. Let me see what I have here. Okay, for me, I'll connect it by 4, right, and come down. I'll connect it by 4 and come down. Now I'll go ahead to cut it. So for this part, we're going to be doing slash and spread method, right? So I'll cut off this point too, and I'll go ahead to label this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So we're not going to mistake each part. So now I'll cut off. Let me show you how it looks like fully before I cut this part and the down part. This is how it's looking like. This is how it's looking like. So now I have to go ahead to cut this. When that's after I have opened it. So this is me just slashing and spreading my paper, right? So I decided to show you guys from the 5th one. So from this point, in case you don't understand, I came out by 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Then I connected the 2 inches. Right? So now I went ahead to place my pattern, that's number 5 pattern, on the 2 inches that I took. So now I went ahead to place it down. So now we have 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Now I'll go ahead to, then this point we're going to come and connect the line with a straight line down. Right? So this is how it's going to be when we cut it out. But this point will be slanted because this place is on slants. Right, so now I'll go ahead to cut. As well, if you want to add like 2 inches, let me add 3 inches from this point, just to make it more fuller, right? Let me add 3 inches and connect this line straight. So from here have the way. So I'll take it down like I did. So now I'll go ahead to cut. And so this is what we have. I'll bring back this part. Right, so we'll connect it here. So this pattern paper is one now. Then we'll join it together. Let me join it together so it will be one piece. This line has to be the same. This line. I'll go ahead to connect back, trim out this line, right. As you can see, I'll trim it out and cut. Okay guys, so this is what we have. So guys, I have gone ahead to put my fabric on fold. If you look at this point here, is on fold. So that means we're cutting the front and back pieces together, because my pattern paper is open. It's not unlike it's when we usually cut fabric that is on fold. So my pattern paper is open, and I'll go ahead now to pin the paper to my fabric. This is 3 yards of fabric. Yes, 3 yards. So now I'll go ahead to start cutting. So guys, I'll go ahead to start sewing, but I'll be making use of a cotton bias for this. I'll be making use of a cotton bias elastic, because that's what I will use for this is the elastic that I will use for the side, right? And I'll be using a visible zip. It will have zip on the side. So guys, after sewing the neck and the armhole and the side, joining the side here, right, with 1 inch that we left on the pattern paper, and I have sewn down this side with the 1 inch, and I have sewn down this side as well, right? So I'm going to introduce cotton bias. We're going to be using cotton bias, like I said earlier, or like I said, you can use weaving machine to weave this rough edge, then you now fold it in. So like this. So when you're getting to the end part, you leave space where you're going to pass the thread. You leave space where you. So I'll be doing like 1 inch, 1 inch apart. So guys, now we're going to use this entry, this place that we created, to pass the elastic, right? So guys, this is what we have. You have to drag the elastic straight to what you want, right? The hole, depending on how much you want the hole to be, right? Then after you have achieved the bigness that you want, then you sew this part down. So I'll show you the outcome of this video. Alright. So guys, I have gone ahead to do everything on the elastic. So now I'll insert my zip here on this part to this point where I have notched, right? So I'll go ahead to put zip, because this fabric is not stretchy, right? But if your fabric is stretchy, then you don't need zip. But if it's not stretchy, you need zip. But if it's stretchy,
then you don't need zip. So I'll go ahead and insert my zip at this point. I'll be using invisible zip for this. So I'll come back and show you guys the final look.